What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Toon Room. We are breaking down the crazy, intense new teasers for the Amazing Digital Circus. But if you like this kind of content, please hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing, perhaps checking out some of my other videos, some of my original cartoons as well. So hopping right into it. Man, has Caine gone crazy? That's a main question. I'm half crazy, more like full crazy. I think my boy has absolutely lost it. We have two trailers to go over, as well as a little picture at the end. So the first is very brief, the second's a bit longer. The first teaser is essentially just Caine snapping his fingers. Now, this is a simple thing, but you could really dissect it a bit. People often use the expression that they've snapped when they're pushed too far and have reached their breaking point, when they've basically gone nuts. I think Caine is both literally snapping his fingers and he is metaphorically snapped within his own psyche. That's pretty much it for the first one. The only other takeaway I can think of is in the image, a lot of people have pointed this out, we see Caine standing on the ground and not floating. This is very unusual for him. It's a little more serious, more human-like, more imposing, rather than him floating and zipping around like a wacky cartoon character like he usually does. And one last thing to note, the background is not colorful like we're used to from seeing in the circus. It's a lot darker. I think it's obviously setting up the next episode. It's going to be literally and metaphorically darker in that it's getting a lot more serious. Next up, we have the real meat and potatoes of this teaser. The opening text, we see an old-fashioned style movie type of thing. The name of the story is called The Lover Without a Heart. This is obviously referring to Caine, who loves the gang, but since he is an AI, literally doesn't have a heart, a soul, or a physical body. It almost makes you wonder, Caine could perfectly recreate a digital sunset. That scene when they're out watching the stars, very beautiful. But can he truly get the senses? Does he really get it? You could digitally recreate it, but he doesn't truly understand things like that, the small nuances that makes you human. And in a cruel twist of irony, of course, he constantly seeks acceptance and validation from the humans, but he will likely never get it. The text reads that the lover wanted friends, but didn't know how to get anyone to love them back. As we've seen throughout the series, Caine is constantly pining for the acceptance of the rest of the gang. We see he's particularly bothered when Zubul says she didn't like his adventures. He was very upset when he didn't win the most popular character at the award show, and he is a computer that desperately wants to be accepted and loved by the rest of the humans. Next, the text reads that the harder he tries to impress the people with his magic, the more he'd push them away. Obviously, this is a reference to Caine forcing more and more adventures on the gang, only for them to be driven away by him and wanting to escape even more. This is the most evident from the last episode, when Caine is so certain that the group loves him that he truly believes that they'd never choose to leave the circus. The final bit of text we get refers to Caine as the little AI who ruined everything. Now this is kind of the teaser that shows you it's about to get real. Has me a bit worried for the rest of the game, because ruined everything implies that things are about to get bad. To our knowledge, Caine controls everything in the digital circus. He is the god of that realm, so to speak. He could snap his fingers and make anything he wants. The only real thing holding him back is that he likes them. I believe Zubul said that before. If they got on his bad side, they could be in a world of just not having a good time. It could be not too good for the gang. The only real limit to Caine's power is his imagination. If he decides to stop playing nice, the guys could be in for a very unfortunate outcome. Even if they lie to appease him for now, I think they definitely want to pretend that everything is fine so they could stay on his good side. In a previous video, I said the main difference between Caine and Am, from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, was that Caine is well-meaning and not mean-spirited. However, while they are both AIs, I think if Caine is pushed far enough, that might change. An angry Caine would be horrifying, since he can warp all of the digital reality at a whim. Next up, we finally get the footage. Now, hopping into this, there's a lot going on in just a short amount of time. We see lights exploding all around the circus. We see the walls are flickering and glitching out, getting all digitally. Caine, he's opening up some crazy colorful portal behind him. That's new. We see a segment where sparks are flying out of Caine's head, almost like he's just glitching out. He's all over the place, absolutely out of control. He's always a bit zany, but he seems more unhinged than usual. The gang is shown scared, and we have cars flying all over the place. Is that a shout out significant something to Jax? Obviously, he had that whole bit last episode with the road popping in his head. We hear a voiceover where Caine explains there's no way that the group would want to leave, obviously referring to the end of the last episode. He just can't even fathom that they would still want to get out of the circus. Caine also says that this is a problem he can fix. That's what he's programmed to do. He's a doer, he's a fixer. He's trying to basically slap a little silly putty on a bullet wound at this point. We have a quick glimpse of Kinger and Queenie. That was something somebody in the comments caught, just a really brief glimpse of that. That's pretty big news. Now, is this a flashback? Maybe it's a memory. Is it possible that Caine poofed up some kind of illusion of Queenie and he's using it to taunt Kinger, kind of like in the haunted house sequence? Definitely interesting. Whatever it is, we know that according to Kinger, she has abstracted, so I'm guessing it's some kind of dream sequence, hallucination, something like that. Finally, we also see some flashes of the CNA office, although this looks to be the office itself, not the Polaroid pictures this time. That's kind of interesting. In episode 7, Caine mentions to Jax that he's fascinated by the real world, which he calls the macroverse, and he looks at the pictures of the CNA office because he wanted to more accurately create them within the circus. So the office we see in the trailer could be in the real world, or more likely, maybe Caine was finally able to create his version of it. I think Caine is paranoid. It's finally hit him that the gang doesn't like him or his adventures and they want to leave. They want out, and I think he's finally getting that point across through that thick skull, if he even has a skull. In the past, when they'd tell him this, he'd usually just laugh it off. But now, it's really getting to the point where it bothers him. They want out, and he knows it. And the gang better buckle up, because it looks like Caine is the most unstable he's ever been. And to recap, basically the last time we saw him, he lied about the mind control angle. Jax called him out, the stupid sauce, the vegan thing, obviously putting the road thing in his mind. And King is flustered. He's basically caught in a lie, and it made him very uncomfortable before he poofed off. One theory, which I think is a pretty good one, is that when you do all these light mind modifiers like Caine talks about, if you do that long term, you're basically stirring around in somebody's head. And this can lead to, over time, when you do it enough, making them more likely to abstract and lose their mind. Caine might be hiding some dark secrets about the circus. He knows more and can do more than he actually admits or lets on to. So that's about it for this one, guys. Caine could be more of a threat in episode 8 than we've ever seen him before. Up until now, he hasn't fit the role of a classic antagonist, but that might change. And the gang has finally called him out on his manipulation and lies, which leads him to panic and run off. He knows he's slowly losing control as the ringmaster of the circus, and that terrifies him. He is not a happy camper. The gang better buckle up, because it looks like they're going to be in for a wild ride. And finally, we got just recently a still image. It's Pomni looking up, terrified. You have Bubbles there, multiple Bubbles. This one's a really interesting one, because up until now, Bubbles has just come off as a goofy sidekick to Caine, nothing really that serious, but there could be some interesting theories that are coming into play. She could be more than he appears. He, she, I'm not sure about Bubbles if it's been stated. I'll just call him Bubbles, but I don't really know. What do you guys think? There have been theories that Bubbles is a virus, maybe pulling the strings. That would be a very unlikely twist. Kind of plays a fool, but really has a lot more power than you would think. What do you guys think of that? I could do its own video on Bubbles, because there could be a lot to talk about there. That's about it for this one, guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you're excited. Subscribe if you want to see more. And don't forget to tune in next time.